Malaysia is a beautiful country in Southeast Asia with a population of around 32 million as of 2019. Malaysia doesn't consist of a single ethnicity but has a variance due to the immigration in the last century. The common Malaysian ethnicities are Malays, Chinese and Indians. The remaining consists of the native people from East Malaysia, which are from the states of Sabah and Sarawak. With these different ethnicities comes different variants of food. Each ethnicity or race has a different type of cuisine, making Malaysia a prominent country when it comes to variants of food. In this video, we will mainly focus on Malaysian foods from ethnicities which are Malay, Iban and Kadazan. We will also talk about foods outside Malaysia, which are from Seychelles and Uzbekistan. With that being said, let's move on to the video.
In this section, Dupke and I will explain about the Malay ethnicity and their traditional cuisine.
Firstly, the Malay are an Austronesian ethnic group, a nation native to the Malay Peninsula, Western Sumatra, Indonesia, and Costa Borneo, as well as the smallest island, which is between these locations. So, these are collectively known as the Malay world. Those locations are today's part of the nations of Malaysia, Brunei, Singapore, Indonesia, and southern of Thailand.
Throughout their history, the Malays have been known as a coastal trading community with fluid cultural characteristics. They absorbed, shared, and transmitted numerous cultural features of other local ethnic groups, such as those of Minang, Achanese, and to some degree Javanese culture. However, Malay culture differs by being more overtly Islamic than the multi-religious Javanese culture.
Malay traditional food is typically strong, spicy, and aromatic, combining with the rich taste of many herbs and spices commonly found in Southeast Asia. It's one of the three major cuisines in Malaysia, and together with Indian, Chinese food, it continually delights visitors to the country with its incredible variety and sour.
It is generally rich with herbs like lemongrass, tamarind, dried and fresh chilies, ginger and garlic. Malay dishes can be distinguished into a few methods of cooking, namely masak merah, masak lemak, masak asam and masak pedas, which is spicy.
Prominent dish loved by the Malay people and others is nasi lemak. It's a dish that comprises with rice, made fragrant, with coconut cream and pandan leaves. It is traditionally accompanied by fried anchovies, sliced cucumber, fried fish, known as a ikan salad, and a sweet chili sauce with some eggs, depending on your taste. My partner Oti will explain to you the origin of nasi lemak.
Nasi lemak originated in Malacca when the child of a widow named Seri accidentally spilled coconut milk into the boiling rice, and then the mother asked the daughter what she is cooking, and the daughter replied, "The nasi lemak," which means rice, mother, in Malaysian. That's how the name originated in Malaysia.
That is truly interesting, Oti. Thank you for that. So here is how to prepare nasi lemak. Firstly, you need pandan leaves and some screw up, and then some leaves, some coconut milk, and sambal. So the other side, like dishes, include some fried anchovy, fried fish, hard-boiled egg, so we can just put it outside with some cucumber slices as well, sambal udang or sambal sotong. Thank you.
Section, we will be enlightening you about the Iban culture and the traditional foods and beverages.
Firstly, the Ibans are a branch of the Dayak people. They are basically a group of former headhunters spread throughout Borneo and mainly concentrated in the state of Sarawak, a small portion in the state of Sabah, and a few in West Malaysia.
Going back to food, the Iban traditional food are called pansu food, which implies the cooking of food or dish done in a bamboo stem. The food, meat, chicken, fish, vegetables and even rice together will be all put together into the bamboo stem, then directly placed over an open fire to be cooked.
The reason why they use bamboo is that it provides a special aroma and texture which is impossible to get with other cooking methods.
One of the most prominent Iban dishes is called panso mano. The word panso means bamboo and mano means chicken. The dish is basically chicken and lemon cooked in a bamboo log over an open fire. The ingredients required to prepare panso mano are chicken, garlic, ginger, onions, lemongrass, cassava or tapioca leaves, and bamboo.
To prepare the dish, first the onions, garlic, ginger, and the lemongrass together. After the mashed mix it with clean the bamboo and put it all inside it.
Once all the ingredients have been placed, use the cassava or tapioca leaves on top of the bamboo. Finally, cook it over an open fire for about 30 minutes.
This dish is famous not only among the Iban tribe but also the Sarawakians. This dish would also be usually served during festivals or other special occasions.
A traditional beverage among the Ibans is tuak. Tuak is a traditional Dayak brew, which is generally made of cooked glutinous rice, ragi, which is a traditional starter base that contains bacterial enzymes and yeast, sugar, and water. It is similar to Chinese and Japanese rice wine.
Glutinous rice is used because of its high starch content, which is broken down by enzymes to produce sugar and then later converted into alcohol by yeast. After that, sugar water is added to make it sweeter, to increase the volume where the yeast can thrive. Then, ragi is used to improve the taste of the final product.
There isn't a single way to brew tuak. It could be prepared by various methods depending on each person.
Just like the panso manok, tuak is also used in rituals and festivals in Borneo. It is a deeply rooted culture in the Dayak tradition.
There isn't a single way to brew tuak. Tuak is prepared by various methods depending on each person. In conclusion, many of the recipes prepared with a wide range and variety of ingredients along with the procedures by the Dayak people have a prominent and vital influence on how they feast or carry out special events that are defined a part of the Iban culture.
With that being said, we will now explore the cuisine and the traditional foods of the Kadazan culture.
We are now going to talk about the Kadazan dish known as hinaba. Hinaba, also known as raw fish salad, is said to be the most popular dish among the Kadazan Dusun, the largest ethnic group in Malaysia. Many different types of fish can be used, but the most commonly used fish is mackerel. However, some people also use sharks. Also, although it says fish salad, squid and shrimp can be used instead.
Since this dish is a salad, it is simple to make. The ingredients consist of fish such as tuna, mackerel, or shark. You can use lime juice or vinegar, red shallot, ginger, chilies, bird-eye chilies, either red or green, and bitter gourd. The fish must be well marinated in lime juice or vinegar for about 10 minutes, and the bitter gourd must be mixed in the salt.
Hinaba is a traditional dish to the Kadazan Dusun. It's prepared and eaten during important occasions such as weddings. It's also eaten as a special meal during the Tadau Kamatan, also known as Harvest Festival. Tadau Kamatan is a sacred tradition among the Kadazan to honor the bond between the creator and the creation. In addition, the technique used to make hinaba is similar to the Spanish technique ceviche. This technique also involves chopped vegetables mixed with raw seafood, which has been marinated in lime and lemon juice.
Uzbek cuisine has a deep history closely related to Uzbek culture, language, and traditions. Uzbek cuisine, to some extent, grows on Asian traditions and recipes, but also has its own specificity. It is characterized as meat-heavy, and bread and noodles are widely consumed. According to Islam traditions, only halal food can be served. The most popular meat is mutton, but beef and horse meat are also popular. There are mainly two types of traditional bread called obinon and patirnon. Obinon is a type of bread made of yeast dough and water, while patirnon is flatter than obinon and has a bigger diameter. Both types of traditional bread are baked using traditional clay oven called tandir. The main meals of Uzbek cuisine are none other than palov, narin, kabab, samsa, lakman, and kazan kabab.
The signature of Uzbek cuisine is palov, or plov in Russian spelling, or pilaf in US spelling, or pilau on UK spelling. Palov is a rice dish with meat, carrot, onions, and prepared in two stages, boiling and evaporation. It originated in Central Asia and spread across the world, but in Uzbekistan it's a special dish, and no holiday is celebrated without palov. It has different recipes for its preparation in different regions of Uzbekistan, and most popular ones are Fergana palov, Samarkand palov, Kharezm palov, Bukhara palov, and Tashkent palov. In everyday life, it usually prepared by women, but for large amount of people, it cooked by men or by invited palov masters. There are myths about how it was created. The first one is that Aristotle, teacher of Alexander the Great, told Alexander that he can keep his soldiers full all day, using specific proportion of rice, meat, and vegetables, which will help him to go further distance in a shorter time. The second one is that Avicenna, who is also popular with the name Ibn Sina, 10th century polymath and father of modern medicine, created the dish. To sum up, palov is the most popular meal in Uzbek cuisine, which is very delicious and appreciated by every member of the nation.
In this section, we're going to talk about Seychelles cuisine, which is mainly influenced by its geographical location and the people who used to inhabit it, that is the British, French, and the Indians.
In Malaysia, there's a lot of people who love seafood, and according to 2019 statistics, Malaysians prefer fish over more than any other type of meat.
Yes, that's true. One of the most popular dishes in Seychelles is the shark chutney. Shark chutney is prepared by simply boiling the shark meat, skinning it, and then cutting it into very small pieces, and then cooking it briefly for a few minutes while adding spices such as turmeric, and then finishing off with lime juice.
Previously, in the past, consuming sharks were banned in Malaysia, and therefore we could due to a law that protects sharks from being endangered. But now, it is considered to be illegal under the Fisheries Act.
In Seychelles, shark chutney is one of the most popular and most eaten dishes, so they cannot ban it.
Oh, I get it. So the culture is different there.
Yes, and now we'll move on to the Uzbek cuisine.
Food crops such as cassava, sweet potatoes, plantains, and breadfruit are the staple diet of the Seychellois. One of the most popular dishes made in the Seychelles from earlier on is lado banan. Lado banan is a traditional dish in Seychelles that uses ripe plantains as its main ingredient. It is a classic dessert of plantains cooked in lightly spiced coconut milk, flavored with vanilla until tender. Interestingly, lado can be made as both a savory dish and a dessert. The savory version replaces the sugar with salt and the vanilla with pieces of fish. Originally, the dish was eaten in large amounts by the early arrivals to the islands due to its ingredients being in plentiful supply. The main ingredients in preparing the dish includes ripe plantains, brown sugar, cinnamon sticks, salt, vanilla extract, and the famous coconut milk, which ties it all together. Like in Seychelles, coconut milk is an important part of the Malaysian cuisine, and here it is used in dishes such as rendang, the trader's rice, masak lemak, and many more. Plantains are also used here in Malaysia, where it is pan-fried until brown and caramelized. It is also cooked by simply steaming, and some Malays even serve it with grated coconut. It is clear to say that plantains and coconut are essential in continuing both the Seychelles and Malaysia's traditions.
Hello, my name is Veronique Petrus, 21 years of age, and I am from the beautiful tropical island of Seychelles. Today, I will be talking about salted fish, an absolute beloved dish in the Seychelles. It truly reflects the fusion of culture that makes up the tiny island nation. Salted salted fish traditional dish dated back during the time when refrigeration did not exist. Therefore, the only way to preserve the fish was by salting and sun-drying, a process which lends the fish a strong and distinctive flavor. Salted fish can be cooked as chutneys, salted fish curry, as well as in a local delicacy known as wugai, which is a type of piquant tomato onion sauce. The salted fish is sometimes fried and accompanied by rice. Compared to my country, in Malaysia there are also a variety of salted fish and most are dried similar to Seychelles. In Malaysia, the little fish are usually salted whole and fried to a crisp and eaten whole. Bigger and firmer the fish are filleted before being preserved into tano kiam hu, popular in Pahang. It is similar to mango salted fish. In Malaysia, this was once considered as a poor man's food, and today, this kind of salted fish is now pretty expensive. Both in Seychelles and in Malaysia, the fish can easily be bought in fishermen's stores, fish markets, and supermarkets. Next time you are deciding what to cook, think about salted fish. Thank you.
No, all the foods in my country are legal in comparison with what Malaysia provides in their food, and that includes pork, chicken, and even shark, and many other more.
I think there is no such food because both Malaysia and Uzbekistan are Muslim countries, and we share some rules about food.
Well, I haven't spent much time in Sri Lanka to know about this, but I would assume that yes, the foods that you get in Malaysia can also be bought in Sri Lanka.
No, actually, I don't think so. Our cuisine, our culture is like very similar, so I don't think there's any food that's banned in my country which is here. I think like things like chewing gum is banned in my country.
As far as I'm concerned, shark used to be banned in Malaysia. It's something we eat in Seychelles. It might be banned now.
Just like what I answered in the first question, yes, there are. And we don't have any restrictions like the halal, haram, non-halal, all that. And that includes pork, of course.
The answer to this question is the same as the answer to the first question.
Well, Malaysia is a Muslim country, but Sri Lanka isn't. So the only thing that would be banned here is pork. Other than that, all other Sri Lankan dishes would be available in Malaysia.
Unfortunately, no. Well, Malaysia has some bans because it's a Muslim country, but since our country is not a Muslim country, there's no bans. So, I don't think so.
I would have to say the same thing goes for my country.
That would be lechon, which is a roasted pork, charcoal over a wood fire, and it's very good. It's marinated with a bunch of ingredients. It's located normally in the middle. It's famous in the middle part of my country, Cebu in Visayas, and yeah, it's very famous and it's popular among a lot of my native fellow Filipino.
In Uzbekistan, the most popular meat I think is mutton. Beef and roast meat also widely consumed.
We have two prominent meats in Sri Lanka, chicken and fish.
I think pork because it's filled with Chinese people. So yeah, pork is the most preferred meat, I guess.
Fish is one of the most preferred in my country. A lot of dishes to be made from it.
I see.
There's so many fantastic street foods in my country. You can see them everywhere in the streets, left and right. You have all foods ranging from all these parts, the cheeks, the intestines, it's all there. Everything you see might be exotic for you, but they're good.
In my country, I can say it's Uzbek samsa. It's a kind of dumpling with beef meat inside, and it's prepared in special Uzbek tandoors.
Yes, we get street food in Sri Lanka, and it does taste pretty good. In fact, a few times a year we have this event called Eat Street, where a street is closed and is filled with street vendors. So in the night, people go there and they eat dinner, basically.
Oh, yes, of course. I think at the moment Singapore is ranked number 1 when it comes to street food. It's really good, really clean, and yeah, it's one of the best. And make sure when you visit Singapore, try the Hainanese chicken rice.
One of the common street food has to be red sausage.
One unique dish that we're so likely to recommend is the belly, which is basically, and we could either be chicken or duck, and before it hatches, basically boil it. Like it's still in its embryo state, it's plasma, and then normally, and after that people would sip it, and then normally people would also eat the undeveloped meat inside there, unhatched, unborn egg. But I would normally not do that, but a lot of people do.
We have some meals can be interesting for Malaysian people of the sesame sausage. But I can say it's unique because our native countries also do have that types of meals.
No, as far as I'm concerned, all other African dishes can be found in the rest of Asia.
If you're asking me, I think all of the Singapore dishes are like from Malaysia basically, because all these Malaysian people came there and brought their foods. So we don't have any unique thing, I guess. What about you? And that's the answer. Let's go!